So, Olivier, good to see you again. What can I do for you?
Good to see you too, Frank. As you know, I'm in the fashion business.
Yes, indeed I do. I'm actually wearing one of your shirts. I will remove my jacket so you can see your logo, the funny-looking dog.
That's the problem, Frank. It seems that just because your shirt has my logo on it, doesn't mean it is one of my company shirts.
What are you saying, Olivier? Is somebody counterfeiting your products?
Yes, I'm afraid that is what is happening.
Okay, tell me everything.
I was at a market in London last weekend on the Portobello Road, and there was a chap there selling our shirts out of the back of a van.
So,
So I went up and had a look at the product, and they were rip-offs.
can you be sure they were counterfeit?
Frank, I manufacture these shirts. Well, I have them manufactured for me in India. The point is I know what my shirts look like, and I can tell a genuine shirt from a copy. They were good copies, but the quality of the stitching was not as good, and they were using cheaper buttons.
Did you ask the guy where he got them?
Yes, of course I did. I told him who I was and asked him where he was getting them from.
And what did he do?
He read it, Frank, jumped into his van and drove off.
So we have nothing to go on.
Not so. I got the number of the van, a white Ford, I think 337 BDH.
Okay, that's something. I know a private investigator called Rockford. He's not too expensive. If you want, I can ring him up and find out who this guy is.
Yes, it will be a start, but I don't really care about this guy, Frank. I want to know who the supplier is. Whoever it is, they are breaking the law. As you know, I registered a trademark to protect my brand, and I want to find out who is violating it. You should remember this as you organize it for me, and as I recall, charge me enough money in legal fees to get it done.
Of course I do, Olivia. Your trademark was registered under the WIPO Madrid system. The thing is, you'll probably find out that these shirts are being manufactured in a country that does not necessarily enforce respect of intellectual property rules.
So, what are you telling me? That I paid all that money for protection, and now I don't have any at all?
Olivia, you paid all that money to have some protection, but it's not a perfect world and there are no absolutes. You have enough protection to allow us go after the seller you saw on the Portobello Road. Once we find him and threaten him with prosecution, we can hopefully find out who his supplier is. In this way, we can try and work our way through the supply chain and find out who is manufacturing these shirts and in what jurisdiction. Then the matter turns into as much a political issue as a legal one.
So, some guy can be manufacturing cheap shirts, passing them off as mine, and despite the fact that I have a registered trademark, nothing can be done about it?
I did not say that, Olivier. I just said it was a possibility. Depends on the country involved. In any event, let's cross that bridge when we get to it. First thing to do is to stop them being sold in markets here in this country.
So, how much will it cost me?
Well, it all depends on how much you really want to stop it, really.
Well, I have to stop it, don't I? That little dog I use as a logo is worth a lot of money. I spent over 10 years and a lot of money in advertising and sponsorship deals, developing the brand.
Well, then, we will have to have people go to the markets all over the country to see how bad the problem is. Each time someone is found selling the shirts, it will be necessary to video them and find out who they are.
Okay, better start doing it, I guess.
Maybe to save money, you can get your own employees to start visiting markets to locate any sellers of your shirts. In the meantime, I will phone Jim Rockford and try and get a line on the seller. I will also contact the police. They have a special unit dealing with counterfeit goods.
Okay, let's nail this, guys, Frank.